Alhikmat Dawah Services is offering a 10-day tour to Dubai and India from October 14th to October 24th, visiting holy sites, Taj Mahal, and many other historic sites. Departure will be from Miami, Florida. Total cost will be $3,000 with flight, hotel, and breakfast. Visa processing fees are not included. If you are interested in this tour, please contact Alhikmat Dawah Services at USA office 954-986-0158 or our Trinidad office at 868-325-8276, or you can email us at alhikmat@alhikmat.com. Alhikmat Dawah Services is offering a Ramadan Umrah trip visiting Medina and Mecca on May 11th to May 20th, 2019. Group will be led by Shaikh Shafayat with an approximate cost of $24.95 per person, departing from Miami, Florida, inshallah. If you are interested in this package, please contact Alhikmat Dawah Services at USA office 954-986-0158 or our Trinidad office 868-325-8276, or you can email us at alhikmat@alhikmat.com.
Since 9/11, there has been a great fear of Islam.
We need Muslims, I always say, to speak up in this country.
Much of our Islamic community is perceived to be insular.
Most Americans have never met a Muslim or are not aware of having met a Muslim.
Most people don't have enough education in terms of what the entirety of Islam represents.
It's very easy to hate someone or to put stereotypes on people that you've never interacted with.
But do you think if Muslims were more integrated in society, in America, in the United States of America, then there would have been less anti-Muslim scenario?
I think it's even more important that our clergy speak up. They are, after all, the moral force in our community.
You see, the Islam that is celebrated is one which opens its doors.
Having this type of dialogue in terms of a community outreach, or
Something that Muslims have to do is go out just like you do and inviting non-Muslims to the iftar. And you do a lot of speaking to mixed groups.
We have to change the language from us versus them to a language of we.
I believe that if we can stand together against the forces of hatred and be unified in this country, then we can do wonderful things.
Bringing us together to enhance the beauty of humankind.
I think religion can be such a powerful force for unity.
Of course.
We've made it into this powerful force for disunity.
Keep trying to understand each other and care for each other and keep building a world community, because I believe that's what God wants for us all.
And I'm in their mosques and they're in my temple, and it's been a phenomenal experience. I've had a very warm and welcoming experience from all the brothers and sisters in the community.
That every human being is either your brother in faith or brother in humanity.
In Arabic, the word is lita'arafu, so that you will learn to understand one another.
And this is the truth of what it should be. You see, this is why I am so pleased to come here today, to support the work of Alhikmat.
The kind of intolerance and the violence that we see across the globe is rooted in ignorance, which we can overcome by teaching.
Yes.
Also rooted in fear, which we can overcome by experiencing, where we can actually live in each other's presence. It's rooted in this myopic kind of my way only, rather than this understanding that maybe all of us have more in common, and at the core of who we are is this truly global family that we belong to.
I'd like to say what a joy and pleasure it is to have Shaikh Shafayat as my friend, as my teacher, as my co-worker in the vineyard of Allah, God, where we work together to make this world a better place, to do God's work, to do the work which we are commanded to do as human beings.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Global Issues on Alhikmat TV 24/7 online. It is indeed a pleasure to have with us in Alhikmat studio Gabriel Brakha.
Yes,
That's
thank
how
you
we
for
pronounce
having
it.
me. Yes.
Is that how we pronounce it?
Yes, indeed.
Good. So Gabriel Brakha is a specialist in the insurance or the health and life insurance field. He's a guy very experienced in the insurance business, in the health area. So I'm sure viewers worldwide, you are definitely going to benefit a lot. Those of you who visit the United States of America, travel, live in America, etc., travel around the world, we will learn a lot from Gabriel on this aspect, a very complicated aspect when it comes to health insurance, life insurance. So welcome to the show, Gabriel.
Thank you for having me.
So tell our audience a little bit about your background, you know, where you came from, where you lived in the United States of America, what was your profession before you got into health insurance, what motivated you to get involved in insurance. A little bit, let's talk about that. So what profession were you into before you got into this insurance business?
Before I was into the insurance business, actually, I used to sell watches.
Interesting.
Swiss watches.
Okay.
All over Latin America. And we set up a lot of offices in South America, in Colombia, Bolivia, Peru. And we sold all the common watches that we know, like Omega, Tissot, Swatch, Ebel, etc. So it was a very, very interesting experience working with tangible products, because the products that we deal today, which are insurance, are non-tangible. It's a completely different type of products and completely different approach as well.
Well, health is a lifetime thing.
Yes.
Health only ends when you die.
Yes.
But it's interesting, watches, before we get into the health thing, watches sort of exist nowadays as a style. It's more luxury. What do you think about that? Because everyone, wherever you go, you see a time, you know, well, not wherever, but your telephones, the motor cars, you know, every second place there is a clock. So people are not too much into the need. Like, I mean, I don't wear a wristwatch, you know. People not into it, so it's only a style. I mean, of course, you got the brand name. It's a rich thing, gold and diamond. It's an exotic thing that people, if I want to put it like this, it's just a show business now. You tell me, you are the expert.
I agree, because I used to deal with watches 20 years ago, and by then, in the marketing standpoint of it, it was functional and fashionable, both. Today, the functionality is not that much, like you mentioned. You don't wear a watch. I don't wear a watch neither, even though I used to sell watches, because I have my cell phone and there is a clock anywhere, like you mentioned. But before, it was more relevant. But today, there are people still buying watches because it's nice, it's fashionable, it's part of the dress, part of the...
So it's just a fashion.
Yes, indeed. In my opinion, it's just a fashion. I was thinking about it actually this past month, why people are buying watches, and it's a very intriguing question. By then, we didn't have that challenge of marketing the watches, because everyone needed a watch.
That was one of the first thing that a person will get, a watch, before even a ring. I remember growing up as a little boy, the first thing you think of when you will get a watch on your hand. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You're going to school, you're going to college, you need a watch. But now it's really a fashion.
Yes.
I know we're sitting here to talk about health, but it's interesting how a different conversation can come up. I never even thought that we'll talk about watches. But I'm glad you brought it up. Fashion. Fashion in the sense that once upon a time, a man will wear a watch with a big head.
Yes.
A woman with a tiny little head. Now I've noticed women getting into the big watch head. It's only a style.
Yeah, the trend changes, and that's why when I used to be in watches, we knew exactly what watches will go for a certain country. For example, there are some people that like to have a white background, black background, and we knew that those watches with background will go only with certain countries.
And every time you use the word watch, what fashion will go there.
Yes.
It's more a fashion.
Yes.
So do you agree with me that the women who are into the big watches now, it's a fashion?
Yeah.
It is a fashion. They
Indeed.
don't need it. I don't even think 9 out of 10 of these women use that watch to tell the time. They use their telephones. It's a style.
Yes, indeed.
It's style. You know, in my career, I'm not about fashion. I'm about reality. I love reality. You know, I love technology. Don't miss my point. Technology, it should be nice, nice things. You know what I'm saying? Nice, technological. That's a different thing. But having something only for style, listen, that gets a little expensive. But,
yeah, watches are very expensive.
and I think it's all about expense and show. And I really would like our audience to know that. I see a lot of women into this fashion. Good. If it's nice, you know, it's okay for women, and I commend you, women. I commend the women who get into fashion with a nice watch. But when it comes to men, I will have a problem with that. I don't see why men need to get into a watch as a fashion. You know why? Because men are men by quality, by their qualities, you know what I'm saying? By their ability, by their manliness, by their manhood.
Mm-hmm.
You know, fashion, decoration, ornaments, it goes with women. It's credible for women. It's commendable for women. It enhances their beauty.
It's a good point. I think maybe men, in a certain way, they're a little bit more practical. What am I going to do with a watch? Exactly. I'm not really going to use it. I have my cell phone, and that's suffice.
Interesting. It's an interesting thing. But anyhow, let's get back to the health. The health. I love that, though. I love that idea of the watch. That is interesting. So from watches, you moved on to what?
I moved into the insurance business. I used to work with a company called Zurich Financial Services 20 years ago, something like that. I used to manage part of Latin America, certain countries. Since I'm fluent in Spanish, we used to do training on those products with brokers, insurance brokers as myself, and try to promote those products in Latin America. Zurich Financial Services was a very strong name, a very strong brand in the market. So I worked with them for 3 years, and after that they decided to close the office for Latin America, and I found myself being self-employed since then.
Wow. So you've always been in some very interesting profession and career.
Yes.
Fashion, watches, finance, and now in health.
Yes.
And health is a profession that will run until we die. You
Yes,
have
and
no
insurance,
choice.
by the way, has nothing fashionable.
No, it's a reality. It's a reality. You know, as we were speaking of technology and watches, it comes to my mind how certain things just fade away. Once upon a time, people used to use videos, you know, the video cassettes, the video cassettes, audio tapes. Doesn't exist. You know, even CDs nowadays
Don't
are
exist.
almost getting obsolete. A lot of motor cars are not even coming with CD players anymore. It's a USB drive.
Yes.
It's your telephone connected to the car. It's interesting how a career profession, you know, people used to have big businesses only in the video business, in the tapes, and now it's all about digital.
And by the way, if you talk about USB, there are some big carriers that today they don't send you your policy in paper. They send you your USB.
Wow.
And you plug it into your computer and you can review all the benefits of your policy.
That is interesting. No, technology is interesting.
Yes.
And it's interesting to understand how certain things just change. It's just, CDs were so powerful once upon a time. There were big businesses with movies on DVDs. Even that does not exist in many places anymore.
Yeah. Evolution of technology.
Yes, so congratulations on your career and profession
Thank you.
of health. I think this is a very healthy thing.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about this company that you run called Insurance Consultants International, Inc. What do you actually deal with? disability, health, life insurance? What you guys cover?
Well, our company, Insurance Consulting International, was established about 7-8 years ago. I founded the company. We started with 1 or 2 agents. Today we are between 45 to 50 agents. And one of our flagships is obviously being a master agency of Florida Blue, which is a very strong carrier here in the Floridian market. They have 80% of the market.
So when you say Florida Blue, most people use Florida Blue insurance. Health
in the
insurance.
state of Florida, definitely.
And when we talk of Blue Cross Blue Shield,
It's the same company.
they are the same company.
Yes.
Because somebody may just say, well, I don't know, I don't have Blue Cross Blue
A
Shield.
lot of people get confused. What happens, Florida Blue made a decision a few years ago to name it Florida Blue for marketing purposes. I think it helped, but it's a very strong brand. They've been in the market, I think, for 70 years already in Florida.
So your company, your business sells health insurance,
Yes,
life insurance.
yes, it
Excellent.
did. Yes.
So we're in 2 major fields. I want to ask you a question that I'm sure our viewers there worldwide. We got viewers all over the world.
Yes.
East, west, north, and south. A very regular question. A person is traveling to the United States of America. The person falls sick, got to end up in the hospital, or realize something has happened. America got very good healthcare services, as well as very expensive healthcare services. So when the person needs health assistance, treatment, medical support, the person definitely needs an insurance. Otherwise, it gets very, very, very expensive.
Yes.
Now, we know there is something called an emergency care system in America.
Yes.
That you're a traveler, you end up in a hospital.
And they cover it.
They got some technicalities that will cover it. They do in some
Yes,
cases.
yes.
All right? They should, or they do, or they could. What really happens?
They should.
Let's cover that first. Someone is coming, they landed here 2-3 days after they realized they're not feeling too well. They ended up 911 in the hospital. So what happens?
Well, I mean, they should cover. I don't know how fast they cover those people with this regulation that you mentioned, but it's always better to get furnished by an international insurance if you come from the Caribbean or South America with a known insurance company. It's better to have it with you when something like that happens.
What do you mean? A person is traveling to the United States or another country. The airline offers an insurance sometimes. Buy insurance when you're traveling.
Yes.
Which covers cancellation of flights
Yes.
here and there. Some health issues also it covers, I think, to a point.
Yes.
So what insurance are you talking about a traveler should get?
Travelers should get, if he lives overseas, he should get an international insurance that covers also the U.S. You
So
mentioned
who-
about the airline.
Okay.
The airline coverage is not that big.
Okay.
They cover probably
Airline products.
$15,000. I mean, it's not going to do anything if you come here to the U.S.
So what is this? What is this international health insurance?
International health insurance, it can be for a person who travels constantly or someone who wants a permanent insurance and says, I want to be covered in Central America or the Caribbean, but also the US and other countries. So when he travels, he's going to be covered with no problem where he comes to Florida, to Georgia, based on the benefits of the insurance.
So that will be based on that insurance company.
Yes.
Where it exists.
Yes.
Because if he goes to a place and that insurance company does not exist, he is on zero.
Yeah,
Now-
he can. That's why we represent carriers that are very
who
strong. Yes.
sells these international insurance?
Usually, people like us, that we are brokers. We are.
So you sell international insurance.
Yes.
A person lives in Brazil, lives in Trinidad, lives in France and London, and is about to travel.
Yes.
they can contact you here in America and you can represent them where and how they can get this international insurance?
Yeah, we did a lot of international insurance for people who came to the U.S. We even have an extreme case of a guy who was a general contractor from Honduras working in Afghanistan. And we got him also a special insurance to cover him there. God forbid something happened to him in Afghanistan. He can be flown to the Gulf state, which the medical system over there, it's a little bit more advanced than Afghanistan.
Wow, that is interesting.
Yeah.
So if someone wants to get in contact with you here, they got to simply go online and search your name here?
Yeah, they can either go on the website or you can call me at 954-414-9845. And
can you repeat it?
Sure, 954-414-9845.
And that goes straight to your insurance office?
Yeah, that's straight to my office.
Gabriel Brakha and whoever agents are there.
Yes.
But that's interesting because, our international viewers, people about to travel, and this is becoming a very big issue, health worldwide. And they can contact you. I'm really, really happy about that. I think it's important we get your information, put it on our Alhikmat magazine. We can probably work something out to get you on our social network. People traveling for international health insurance. It's really a need. It's a necessity. It's a necessity, The telephone is a necessity, but the health is even more important.
Yeah, it's important also to know that there are a lot of different insurance companies over there, but you have to be aware that not all of them are strong with their networks and with their benefits. So not always when you buy something cheap, you're going to get something great. Actually, in the health insurance, I would say that if you buy something cheap, it's not going to be very fashionable when you're going to be in the hospital.
I understand, and that makes sense. And you represent one of your major company is Blue Cross Blue Shield of Florida Blue, which is very, 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 very prominent and well known.
Yes.
Just to jump around a little bit, from a life insurance point of view, well, to continue with health insurance, I know you also sell group insurance. Companies, businesses can buy insurance from your company here for their workers. And who are some of those agents or those companies that you represent?
Usually the companies that buy insurance are supermarkets, okay? Actually on our website we have a video of one of our clients who speak highly about us. It's one of the supermarkets. Also we have multinationals. We have regular companies that wants to have benefits for their employees, because it's very important to have group insurance, especially when they're looking for strong employees.
So what's the minimum amount of employees you got to have to get a group insurance rate?
Usually we work with minimum 4 people.
Oh, okay.
4 people. We have 4 people, we have 30 people, we have also groups of 80 people.
What about clubs?
Clubs.
A club, a sports league, an organization.
It's really tricky because sometimes you have to make sure that all the people in that organization are employees, because they need to be in a payroll system.
Oh, so the payroll system will have the deductible of the health cost.
Now, if you really want to have another option, there are other options for group insurance for this kind of clubs, but those group insurance are not very good insurance.
Oh,
because they don't cover much in the hospitals. We never sold those products before. We don't feel comfortable. Do they exist? Yes, but we don't feel comfortable offering it, because if you're going to go to the hospital, for sure you're going to pay out of pocket an amount. Yes.
Right. That's interesting. That's really, so those major companies, like when you hear of names like Humana and Aetna, where do companies like this come in with you? You guys
Well,
work with these
we
companies?
work with them in the group level, group insurance level only. They have their advantages in certain thing. Aetna is good for self-funded companies, for major companies, for 500, 1,000 employees.
You know, I'm asking this because we hear these names,
Yes.
you know, Humana, Avmed, Aetna. So these big companies, but you sell insurance for all these companies.
Absolutely. And we
Excellent.
basically, when we meet with the employer or the owner of the company, we assess their needs and what they're looking for. Because sometimes the companies that are cheaper, it means that the network shrinks a little bit. So
makes sense.
some employers are willing to cut their budget a little bit and go with a smaller company.
You
smaller
know, there
network.
is a famous saying,
Yes.
and the Chinese especially master
Yes.
this saying: cheap things, no good. Good things, no cheap. So cheap things are not good, and good things are not cheap.
Yes.
You want a good health service, you got to pay a good price.
Absolutely.
You pay cheap, you got to cheap in response to what you invest. That's what you get as rewards, and that's how it is. But would you believe, Gabriel, we have been speaking for more than 20 minutes now?
Wow.
Yeah, time
amazing.
just goes. That's how beautiful. More than
Yeah.
20, almost 23 minutes. But it's an interesting conversation. We started with the watch. And I like that because this is an interesting field. So when we get back, we got to go on a short commercial break.
Sure.
When we come back, I want to talk a little bit about the difference with the present situation in the United States of America, healthcare, what is called Obamacare or the Affordable Care Act. What is Trump doing, his healthcare, what he plans to do under his administration, how people benefit, how does it relate to what your organization sells or promotes or offers, the services your insurance companies offer, and what is better, the health care that President Trump is offering, the Affordable Act that was initiated by President Obama. We want to talk a little bit about someone who wants to get involved now with your company.
Yes.
How could we get this even more realistic? A lot of people are very scared of insurance, even though they need insurance. You know, insurance has become like a wife, you know. A lot of people are scared, but they need to have the spouse. Husband or wife, you know, that's what goes on in the world. Everybody's scared to get married of the package that comes. But it's a necessity. A companion, a spouse has become a necessity in life. So health is like that. It's a partner. Everything you do, you will need it. You will either have to die, you got to live healthy. So I think people need this. And a lot of people don't understand. Before we went on camera, you mentioned a good point about young people. They don't think that they will get sick.
Yes.
They don't think they will die now. So they don't care about health. They don't care about the health insurance and the life insurance. So they don't take it. And then when there is a problem, they are now looking for it. And that's important. That's what people need to know. And that's where your company comes and gets involved.
I usually say the people that don't take the life insurance or the health insurance and they refuse to do it, I tell them, you are officially the insurance company right now. And they ask me, why? Because you're going to pay all the bills with the hospitals. So you are the insurance company now.
So it is an opportunity, and it is a necessary thing in life nowadays. It's a necessity based on how things are set up in today's time. Okay, viewers, we have been speaking to Mr. Gabriel Brakha, an insurance specialist, life insurance, health insurance. When we come back, we're going to get a little bit down into the reality check of what someone should do who needs this insurance and how they can benefit and how they can contact his company directly and get a better understanding, those who have insurance, how they can get a better understanding how to get the 9 yards out of what they have, and those who don't have insurance, why they need to get insurance. So when we come back, stay tuned. Again, we are in our Hikmat studio here, broadcasting live worldwide, online, and various television network, 24/7 online. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Alhikmat Dawah Services is offering a 10-day tour to Dubai in India from October 14th to October 24th, visiting holy sites, Taj Mahal, and many other historic sites. Departure will be from Miami, Florida. Total cost will be $3,000 with flight, hotel, and breakfast. Visa processing fees are not included. If you are interested in this tour, please contact Alhikmat Dawah Services at USA office 954-986-0158 or our Trinidad office at 868-325-8276, or you can email us at alhikmat@alhikmat.com. Alhikmat Dawah Services is offering a Ramadan Umrah trip visiting Medina and Mecca on May 11th to May 20th, 2019. Group will be led by Shaikh Shafayat with an approximate cost of $24.95 per person, departing from Miami, Florida, inshallah. If you are interested in this package, please contact Alhikmat Dawah Services at USA office 954-986-0158 or our Trinidad office 868-325-8276, or you can email us at alhikmat@alhikmat.com.
Welcome back to Alhikmat 24/7 online. We are on a very, very interesting global issue, talking to Mr. Gabriel Brakha on health insurance and life insurance. And those of you who were tuned in before we went on the commercial break, you would agree with me that we learned a lot from Mr. Gabriel, his career, his background, his being a specialist in the health insurance field does benefit a lot of people, travelers, international travelers, local, national, people who live in the United States of America. So we want to continue that conversation with him as how can people benefit? How can someone benefit? So let's continue. Before I get into that, let's get into a little tricky question. Obamacare, the Affordable Act, the system of President Trump and what health system he wants to bring. How does that affect people? What should a person have or not have?
Well, the Affordable, just to give a little bit of history, the Affordable Care Act was legislated in 2010, if I'm not mistaken, March 23rd, 2010.
Which is called the Obamacare.
Yeah, that's the nickname for it.
But it's Affordable Care Act.
Affordable Care Act. The initial intent of past President Obama was to get all kids insured with no pre-existing condition clause. So that was a good thing that happened. And after that, they started everything with a marketplace that people could go to the website, could get a nice subsidy, and you can get insurance with, obviously with Florida Blue. Some people get an insurance even with zero premium through that system. Is that system perfect? No. Did it help a lot of people? Probably yes.
So people used to get the insurance free. That's what you're telling me.
Some of the people are getting free based on their income with the subsidies of the government.
So that's how it works. Based on a person's income.
Yes.
If a person does,
household income.
If a person does not have an income, they can still get it.
No. They need to have a minimum income in order to get a subsidy.
Okay. From the Affordable Act.
It's between 12 to 13,000 per individual per year.
Okay, beautiful. So we have that. And the person who has a bigger income, they pay a bigger fee.
They probably don't get subsidies. It depends on different variables. If he has a lot of kids, it helps. So even people that earn $100,000 a year as a family, but they have 4 or 5 kids, they might get a subsidy.
Okay, interesting. Otherwise, they pay the full thing.
Not a huge subsidy, but some subsidy.
But other than that, they got to pay.
Yes.
And if a person did not
qualify,
okay, forget about qualify. A person did not take the Affordable Act, did not register for it. What's the situation about this penalty around that?
The penalty existed all these years. From 2019, which is called the individual mandate, will be removed. So any individuals that wants to not to buy insurance in 2019, they will not be penalized.
So once upon a time, if a person did not have this insurance, the IRS, the taxes would penalize them and they would have to pay.
Yes.
If they had the Obamacare, they pay less taxes. It's deducted.
Yeah, if they have the Obamacare, the carrier will issue a 1095 form.
Okay.
This is something the accountant do. We don't do that.
Right.
And they provided it to the IRS, so they don't have to worry about the penalties. But if you don't have it, because you didn't purchase insurance, you will have to pay a penalty.
So you were saying from 2019, if a person does not have Obamacare, they will
or
not
any
have
private insurance.
So they will not have to pay a penalty.
No.
Okay, that's and
But
that's,
they cannot purchase insurance anytime they like. Neither.
oh, so they don't have the choice of just
No.
purchasing when they want. That's important. So you cannot have your cake and eat it also. That's what we're saying.
Yes. So there will be people, as you mentioned before, young people that they are careless usually about health insurance, that they will acknowledge they don't have these penalties, but they will come in March and look for an insurance because their leg hurts. They will not be able to get insurance unless they get a temporary insurance that obviously have its limitations. It's not like a
But
permanent insurance.
you guys sell temporary insurance?
Yes, indeed.
No, that's important for our
Yes.
audience to know. So you also sell temporary insurance.
Yes.
A person suddenly in the middle of the year realizes I need to do something that is happening I never knew about. I want to take insurance. Perhaps if something happens then, or I assume something may happen with certain symptoms that is happening health-wise, they can come and buy insurance.
Yes, temporary insurance is also limited.
I
It means that they
agree.
will exclude pre-existing conditions.
Of course,
Yes.
of course, it will. It
Yes.
will have its technicalities.
Yes.
So that's the whole 9 yards around this health situation.
Yes.
But that's why a person needs to have insurance, Gabriel.
Very important. I tell everybody.
Whether it's Obamacare or Trump care.
It doesn't matter what legislation you have, you need to have insurance because it's shown in the US that people that didn't have health insurance, they actually bankrupt. It's
know-
one of the main issues of bankruptcy in the US.
Oh, health, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Because all your money, all your savings will just go down in faith. You know, I tell people all the time, whether it's Obamacare or Trump care,
Yes.
at the end of the day, nobody cares about you. It's all politics. It's all about government, politics. You, the real layman, nobody cares. It's about money, business, politics, marketing.
Yeah, and
So
it's
people got to be conscious about their own health
yes.
and get into what they need to do and what they have to do.
Because you mentioned something very interesting. Cautions about their own health. They do some preventive measures. They have to make sure that their health is good. If you don't do the physical checkup on time, you might develop other things. And the health insurance will cover it. I have clients that Florida Blue had paid almost $1 million in claims.
Wow.
Did the client call me? Never. The client didn't call me because Florida Blue paid all the claims just like that. No problem. That's why we represent only solid companies in the market.
Oh, the health is really a big business, huh?
Yeah.
It is. It is really an interesting thing. I mean, at the end of the day, while it is one of the means for financial loss by people who have saved and did not have the right health insurance, they lose a lot. It's also one of the biggest financial successful company or business in America. Everyone is going into health business nowadays.
Yes. And actually also financial advisors, they usually don't deal with health insurance. They always tell them to get a health insurance because if they don't do that and they fall into the hospital, they will have to use all their assets managed by the financial advisor to cover all the cost of the hospitals. The financial advisor are not interested in that. They want them to have that coverage, strong coverage.
Right. That's interesting. So tell us a little bit again now about how your company, what is called Insurance Agent Hollywood, Florida. That's what you call. That's what someone will go online. Insurance
Agent Hollywood, Florida.
Hollywood, Florida.
.com.
Somebody wants to get insurance. A person does not have health insurance. What should they do?
They can contact us through the website, insuranceagenthollywoodflorida.com, or they can call us to our number 954-414-9845.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or maybe maybe we will need to have some sort of connection that it might be easier. Someone will remember Alhikmat TV, Global Issues, this talk show, so then they can call Alhikmat office.
Yes.
And we'll refer them to you.
Thank you
Call
so
us, Alhikmat. Hey, we saw this show on health insurance, life insurance. We need to get one, or we need to get a better one. What about a person got a life insurance or a health insurance and they are not too happy of what's going on?
We always
They don't know what's going on.
Well, we always do policy review. We are very objective. If we feel that their life or health insurance policy is strong, we let them know that they should stay with it, because that's very important to be also ethical about
Well,
that.
I see you write consultant. So someone
Yes.
who already got a health insurance,
Yes.
but not sure what are the advantages or the disadvantages. Can they call you to find out?
Absolutely.
Should I remain? Should I adjust? What should I do?
The best thing is to call us to our phone number 954-414-9845, and they can set up an appointment, and we can let them know if the policy they have is strong or it's lacking of benefits. It really depends on the person itself.
Of course. And then you have another situation. A lot of people don't know what they can do with their life insurance or health insurance, either one. What can I benefit from? What happens? What does not happen? You know, sometimes people go to a doctor.
Yes.
Doctor prescribes a medication. The pharmacy does not cover the medication. They have these problems. Another insurance, another person says, well, my pharmacy covered the insurance. What really happens there? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. This is the things that usually the consultant helps you, because there are plans, for example, that covers you for brand name medication, generic medication, and there are some other plans that don't do that. That's regarding your question. Regarding the life insurance, it's important to have life insurance, especially for young families that are working, because if something happened to one of the spouses, what's going to happen with the kids? You need some money to start a new life. Unfortunately, a new sad life, because one of your spouses is not there because of an accident, because of an illness. But besides, it's a very emotional situation when somebody loses a loved one. So you don't want to deal with financial issues. So you have that money from the life insurance, can be $500,000 or $1 million, that at least covers that in order to pay someone to take care of the kids.
So what are the companies you represent for life insurance?
All the major ones like AIG, like Protective, like Prudential, like Mass Mutual, all the really strong names company in the market. And all these companies, usually they have a very strong rating, A+ by AM Best. And they have a lot of reserves to pay for the families. And another thing it's interesting to know, U.S. has very expensive health insurance, and we know that. U.S. is one of the countries that have the lowest premium in life insurance in the world, believe it or not. Cars and life insurance in the U.S. are one of the lowest in the world.
Oh, interesting.
It's a fact. There are people from Latin America coming to us.
So you're saying the premium and the cost of paying life insurance is one of the lowest in the world?
Yes, very competitive.
Yeah. Well, I suppose financially speaking and logically speaking, because of the volume of people we got in the United States of America, because of the many people who take that insurance, it became very competitive. So the guys got to compete.
And we also have a lot of carriers, hundreds of carriers in the market for life insurance. So there is more competition as well in the marketplace.
Yes, that's interesting. That's very interesting. So, good. So I think people who really are interested in knowing more about this life insurance you guys do and the health insurance, whether they have one or they're thinking about one, they need to contact you. Or at least they can contact us. Listen, you can call Al-Hikmat office, ask us, anyone in the office, you call the number. Al-Hikmat numbers are all over on Al-Hikmat TV, on the shows here and there. Just call us and ask us about this show we had with Gabriel Brakha. That's the correct pronunciation, right?
Yes, thank you.
And how we can get in contact with him and how you can benefit to know what is the best insurance, the best way, the best policy, health or life, so you can benefit. It's really a healthy thing. It's an important thing. It's a living thing, if I would want to put it like that, a thing of necessity. What else would you like? It's a
must.
It is a must.
It's a must to have. I mean, the people should know that we are an agency that takes care of all our clients. That's why we have a saying that we take care of our clients like our own family. Mm-hmm. And we really look at every policy and every person like a separate case, because everyone has a different needs. And if we believe that the policy that they have is strong, we will let them know, and at least we're going to provide them a peace of mind that what they purchased with a second opinion with us, it's like going to a doctor in a way, they will feel comfortable for the rest of their life and they don't have any doubts that they purchased the right plan.
Last question I have for you, because we kind of getting into time situation. A person is in the United States of America, does not have a job in America, does not have a job, or maybe have a job, I don't know, but has the money to pay for life insurance or for health insurance. Let's talk health insurance first. Has the money to pay for health insurance. What do they do?
Well, if they don't have a job or they don't have Social Security, we have carriers also.
I mean, the money is not a question.
Yes.
There are people who come here with a lot of money. They're probably not working because they don't have legal status.
Yes.
But they got the money to pay for an insurance. You see what I'm saying?
Yes. Yeah.
Could they get a health insurance?
They can get health insurance. Obviously, those products are usually underwritten, but they can contact us and we can give them several options or several solutions.
But you follow what I'm saying?
Yes.
You don't just get legal status overnight. They're planning to move to the States, they find out their papers. But they got the money. They can pay for the insurance. Rather than paying $1 million to the hospital, they want to get their businesses in order. So they decide to take out a health insurance. That is possible.
It's possible. They can always get an insurance that is an expat insurance as well.
Oh, it can be on the expat.
Yes. Expat insurance, they can have it. Mm-hmm. And it covers them, not only the U.S., it covers them also the country of origin.
Yeah, yes. They can be coming from India, from the Caribbean,
anywhere,
wherever, and they take an expat insurance and it will cover them while they're here.
Actually, there is one country that they don't cover it for expat, which is Cuba.
Okay, that's...
Yeah, just to...
Wow. Interesting. Well, Gabriel, it has been fantastic talking to you. I really learned a lot. I'm being very honest. You had my brain clicking. This is such an important thing, because every second person you meet today, they either had a loss in their family.
Yes.
And the question of money, insurance, life plays a major role, or they got some sickness, someone in their family, someone has been diagnosed, they're worried about health, they're worried about insurance paying the bills, or someone is getting older and they now need Medicare or Medicaid or some insurance to cover their age and the process of caring. What takes care of those services, health aid? You need the insurances to cover it. So people got some questions at all times in this area.
Yeah, I always say life insurance, when somebody comes for life insurance, I tell them this is not for you. This is for your family. Mm-hmm. And it's important for you to protect your family. God forbid something happen. Unfortunately, all of us are going to die.
Of course.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact. The question is if it's going to be earlier or later. And you don't know, and nobody knows
Nobody
what's
knows.
going to happen.
Yeah, yeah.
So-
Well, we're about to close. Thank you very much. It's
Thank
been
you
wonderful
so much.
to have you on the show on global issues on Alhikmat TV 24/7 online. And you got a couple seconds if you want to tell our audience anything, again, how to contact you.
Well, I want to thank the viewers of viewing this interview, and I want to thank the Imam as well for his time. And if you have any questions, you can call us at 954-414-9845, or you can call
Alhikmat office.
Alhikmat office, which I think is a little bit easier.
Easier. So we have been talking to Gabriel Brakha, an insurance specialist, health, life, etc. Feel free, you have any questions, anything you'd like to know, health, life, whatever, call him. You got the numbers he just mentioned. Call Alhikmat office. We can make a referral to his company and you can be guided on the right track. Thank you very much again. It has always been a pleasure to be with you on Alhikmat TV. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you.
Since 9/11, there has been a great fear of Islam.
We need Muslims, I always say, to speak up in this
Yes.
country.
Much of our Islamic community is perceived to be insular.
Most Americans have never met a Muslim or are not aware of having met a Muslim.
Most people don't have enough education in terms of what the entirety of Islam represents.
It's very easy to hate someone or to put stereotypes on people that you've never interacted with.
But do you think if Muslims were more integrated in society, in America, in the United States of America, then there would have been less anti-Muslim scenario?
I think it's even more important that our clergy speak up. They are, after all, the moral force in our community.
You see, the Islam that is celebrated is one which opens its doors.
Having this type of dialogue in terms of a community outreach or
Something that Muslims have to do is go out just like you do and inviting non-Muslims to the iftar. That and you do a lot of speaking to mixed groups.
We have to change the language from us versus them to a language of we.
I believe that if we can stand together against the forces of hatred and be unified in this country, then we can do wonderful things.
Bringing us together to enhance the beauty of humankind.
I think religion can be such a powerful force for unity.
Of course.
We've made it into this powerful force for disunity.
Keep trying to understand each other and care for each other and keep building a world community, because I believe that that's what God wants for us all.
And I'm in their mosques and they're in my temple, and it's been a phenomenal experience. I've had a very warm and welcoming experience from all the brothers and sisters in the community.
That every human being is either your brother in faith or brother in humanity.
In Arabic, the word is lita'arafu, so that you will learn to understand one another.
And this is the truth of what it should be. You see, this is why I am so pleased to come here today, to support the work of Alhikmat.
The kind of intolerance and the violence that we see across the globe is rooted in ignorance, which we can overcome by teaching.
Yes.
Also
yes.
rooted in fear, which we can overcome by experiencing, where we can actually live in each other's presence. You know, it's rooted in this myopic kind of my way only, rather than this understanding that maybe all of us have more in common, and at the core of who we are is this truly global family that we belong to.
I'd like to say what a joy and pleasure it is to have Shaikh Shafayat as my friend, as my teacher, as my co-worker in the vineyard of Allah, God, where we work together to make this world a better place, to do God's work, to do the work which we are commanded to do as human beings.
Alhikmat has been serving the Muslim and non-Muslim communities for the past 30 years through the publishing and distribution of Islamic literature and radio, and also TV programs, plus interfaith activities. Due to the demand and many requests of non-Muslims and new Muslims for Islamic literature, we request you to donate generously $1 fi sabilillah in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala towards distribution of the Holy Quran, Alhikmat TV 24/7 online, Dawah publications, Surah and Zikr books, genealogy of the prophets, feeding and clothing the poor, orphans, and the needy, students seeking to study Islam, printing of Islamic publications, our monthly Muslim magazine, One God, Same Religion Dawah brochures, Quranic Arabic reader with Tajweed for students, and also to support our Dawah activities, you can also contact Al-Hikmat offices at 954-986-0158 at 954-986-0158, or you can also visit our website at www.alhikmat.com. That is www.alhikmat.com. You can also make checks payable to Al-Hikmat Services Incorporated, or you can donate with a credit card on PayPal at www.alhikmat.com.
All praises are due to Allahu Allah. All praises are due to Allahu Allah. Allahu 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 Allah. Allahu.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. If you would like to dedicate copies of one of these publications as Sadaqah Jariyah, continuous blessings for your parents or dear ones who have passed away, or fi sabilillah in the path of Allah, please give us a call so we can place your names on these dedicated publications. You can call us at 954-986-0158, or you can also visit us at www.alhikmat.com.
Allah is the creator of different faces. Allah is the creator of all races. Allahu, 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 Allah.
Salam alayka, ya Habib.
Bouncy Kings, Bouncy Castles presents brand new luxury castles for all events. You can contact us at telephone number 749-4342, or you can also email us at bouncykings1@gmail.com. A-Class Glamour presents to you wholesaling and retailing of premium lines of cosmetics for all skin types, designer jewelry, and many accessories. Brands include ColourPop, Maybelline, Revlon Professional, Urban Decay, Sephora, and many more. To get a hold of these products, you can call Sadiq Khan at 345-5824 or Amira Khan at 759-6089. You can also visit our Facebook page at A-Class Glamour to follow for newly released lines of products. Al-Hikmat Dawah Services is offering a 10-day tour to Dubai in India from October 14th to October 24th, visiting holy sites, Taj Mahal, and many other historic sites. Departure will be from Miami, Florida. Total cost will be $3,000 with flight, hotel, and breakfast. Visa processing fees are not included. If you are interested in this tour, please contact Al-Hikmat Dawah Services at USA office 954-986-0158 or our Trinidad office at 868-325-8276, or you can email us at alhikmat@alhikmat.com. Al-Hikmat Dawah Services is offering a Ramadan Umrah trip visiting Medina and Mecca on May 11th to May 20th, 2019. Group will be led by Shaikh Shafayat with an approximate cost of $24.95 per person, departing from Miami, Florida, inshallah. If you are interested in this package, please contact Al-Hikmat Dawah Services at USA office 954-986-0158 or our Trinidad office 868-325-8276, or you can email us at alhikmat@alhikmat.com.
Allah